What if the monsters that once lived quietly on your bookshelf never really left, but simply waited for the right moment to crawl back into your memory? Goosebumps was never just a children's book series or a TV show. It was an experience that shaped an entire generation's understanding of fear. Created by R.L. Stine, Goosebumps introduced millions of young readers to horror in a way that felt thrilling rather than overwhelming, scary, but still addictive. It took everyday places like schools, basements, summer camps, forests, and bedrooms and turned them into nightmare fuel, proving that monsters don't need dark castles or distant worlds to exist. They can live right next door. At the heart of the Goosebumps universe stands Slappy the Dummy, the most famous and terrifying monster of them all. A ventriloquist doll with a cruel sense of humor, sharp intelligence, and an unsettling awareness of his own evil. Slappy wasn't frightening because he chased people or relied on sudden scares. He was frightening because he spoke, planned, manipulated, and enjoyed hurting others, which made him feel disturbingly human. His repeated appearances turned him into the unofficial mascot of Goosebumps horror, and for many fans, he remains one of the scariest fictional dolls ever created. Another unforgettable nightmare came from The Haunted Mask, a story that terrified readers on a deeply personal level, because the monster wasn't chasing the main character, it was becoming her. The idea of a mask that slowly fuses to your face, takes control of your personality, and traps you inside your own body touched a fear that goes far beyond monsters, the fear of losing yourself. This psychological horror is what made Goosebumps stand out, because it understood that the most powerful scares are the ones that feel real. That same unsettling feeling returned with other living dummies like Mr. Wood and Rocky, proving that the fear of lifeless objects coming alive is universal, especially when those objects are meant to entertain. Goosebumps also surprised readers by showing that not all monsters are evil in the traditional sense, as seen in The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, where the shocking twist revealed that humans were the true monsters all along. This story flipped expectations and taught young audiences that fear doesn't always come from claws, teeth, or glowing eyes. Sometimes it comes from cruelty, misunderstanding, and survival. Classic horror lovers found their thrills in The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, a tale filled with dark woods, full moons, and the constant dread of not knowing who could be the monster. Goosebumps made the werewolf scary again by focusing on atmosphere and suspicion rather than violence, proving that anticipation can be more terrifying than action. Ancient curses came alive in Return of the Mummy, where readers were introduced to tombs, spells, and long-forgotten evils, blending education with horror and sparking curiosity about ancient civilizations while still delivering chills. Then there was Monster Blood, one of the strangest and most memorable Goosebumps creations. A slimy, uncontrollable substance that grew bigger and more dangerous with every appearance. Monster Blood stood out because it didn't have a face or a personality. It was pure chaos, gross, unpredictable, and unstoppable, tapping into a different kind of fear rooted in loss of control. Some of the most haunting Goosebumps monsters weren't monsters at all, like the cursed camera in Say Cheese and Die, which showed that fate itself could be terrifying, or the ghost next door, which delivered an emotional twist that stayed with readers long after the final page. Goosebumps succeeded because it never underestimated its audience. It respected children's intelligence and curiosity, mixing fear with humor, mystery, and unexpected endings that encouraged readers to keep turning the pages. These stories didn't just scare kids. They invited them into a world where fear was something to explore, understand, and even enjoy. Decades later, Goosebumps monsters still live rent-free in our minds because they were our first step into horror, a safe doorway into the unknown that left a lasting impression. Whether it was Slappy's twisted smile, the haunted mask's slow takeover, or the silent dread of a werewolf lurking in the trees, these monsters shaped our nightmares and our imagination. And now the real question is this: if you came face to face with these Goosebumps monsters today, armed with adult courage but childhood memories, would you finally conquer your fears? Or would Goosebumps still manage to give you one last unforgettable scare?